Hello, everybody, and welcome to the second episode of the Smuggler Chapter 4 stuff, but it's technically the start of the entirety of Chapter 4.
Please stand by for a priority communication from Supreme Chancellor Leontine Suresh of the Galactic Republic.
Captain, congratulations again on your defeat of the Void Wolf. I require a moment of your time to discuss matters of galactic security.
If this is about missing valuables or some kind of illegal enterprise operating in Republic space, I have no idea why you're calling me.
Your knowledge of shadow economies is the asset I seek. I require expert help with a particular breed of criminal. The Hutt Cartel has invaded Republic space and seized the planet Makeb. We will respond to this unprovoked act of aggression in full force. My War Council will be convening on Keylander Station in the Makeb system. I ask that you join us immediately.
I'll set a course for the Makeb system right now.
Proceed to the conference chamber on Keylander Station. I'll meet you there. Please hurry. We must act quickly and decisively against the Hutt's aggression.
That little opening sequence is unique to each class, but I really like that one for the Smuggler. It's like perfect. It's exactly what my Smuggler was doing at that time. You know, he's chilling. He just spent most of his money on random crap, and his companions are just having fun on his ship. And then they get the call to help the Republic against the Hutts.
Most cordial greetings. I am Xanthrilo, Republic Protocol Officer. Welcome to Makeb and Keylander Station. Please hold all questions. Supreme Chancellor Suresh and her delegation are arriving.
I ask everyone here with me to honor this brave captain, who thwarted an attack on the Republic by no less than an Imperial Grand Admiral.
I thought you were throwing me a surprise party. Not that I'll turn down another job, but I wouldn't mind a little blowout bash once in a while.
Forgive me for placing business ahead of pleasure. Hazard of the office. Victory over the Empire lies within our grasp. But first, we must face a cowardly act of unwarranted aggression. Supreme Commander Malcolm.
13 days ago, the Hutt Cartel violated Republic space and seized the planet Makeb. They've blockaded the system with 30 Ajur-class heavy cruisers.
Makeb's citizens have formally pledged to join the Republic if we respond to their crisis. We will not abandon them to the Hutt's brutality.
If we're willing to fight the Hutt Cartel for control of a planet that's been neutral up until now, we must have good reason.
Makeb is a paradise. Quality of living standards significantly above the galactic average. Thriving mining and tourism industries. A world worth saving and having.
Severe atmospheric conditions on Makeb make large-scale troop landings impossible. We need help from local resistance forces to pull this off.
One of Makeb's business leaders, Shalem Avesta, is awaiting you on the surface. I want you working closely with him.
This Shalem sounds like he belongs in a boardroom, not on a battlefield.
You'll need local expertise for this mission. Shalem and his forces can provide that. Liberating Makeb is your top priority, but I want the Hutt's ambitions ended permanently. Grandmaster Satil Shan has insight regarding our enemy's future plans.
The Jedi Council has meditated on the cartel's actions. We believe that Makeb is a staging point for a larger attack on the entire galaxy.
The Hutts will not be allowed to expand their dominion at our expense.
It's always an honor to face down the enemies of the Republic, Madam Chancellor.
When our enemy realizes who they're facing, I predict a hasty retreat. A shuttle will transport you to Shalem Avesta's encampment on the surface. Go now, and show the galaxy the Republic is not to be trifled with.
Now, you got to keep in mind the Republic thinks that this planet, Makeb, is just a paradise, and that's why they want to save it. But they have no idea that there are huge underlying issues that they have no idea about.
Kuya maya stupabargo, unoa uyat yachanichu. Kava de chuba kojwanti ni tota. Uptola dupatwana dwana wanki slimo pod yukata janga. Ninga ninga, kitrita ni omni, tanu alau natun kitkutha.
You get a little bit of the taste of the planet there, where the pillars of rock are sticking out, and it's just such a cool atmosphere to be in. And this planet really is a paradise, but it's kind of paradise lost, isn't it? Because there's war going on here, really, really ugly war.
Welcome, Captain. I'm Shalem Avesta. The Supreme Chancellor says you're one of the Republic's foremost experts on the Hutt Cartel. My family helped found Makeb. Avesta Mining has led our business council for decades. I was practically chief of state before the cartel's takeover. It wasn't an easy decision. But if joining the Republic is the only way to reclaim my home world's freedom, so be it.
Personally, I would have offered the Republic a little less than your whole planet. How'd a high roller like you get suckered into this deal?
Supreme Chancellor Suresh required a full commitment to the Republic. Given the circumstances, I couldn't refuse. Ilosov is a former mercenary with the interstellar regulators. Until recently, Makeb's trusted private army and police force.
Quit when the regulators sold out to the Hutts. I don't betray a client for credits.
Exceptions like him notwithstanding, the cartel bought off the regulator forces and turned our former protectors against us.
How many ex-mercenaries do you have on your side? Enough to take down the rest?
Regulators who refused the Hutt buyout either ran or got shot for disloyalty before they could.
I still don't know why this has happened. We've conducted peaceful business with the Hutt Cartel for years.
Casualty and damage reports coming in. Talau City got rattled pretty hard, but no injuries. Lucky.
That's the 5th groundquake since the Hutt's takeover. The last one leveled the Taigan mining colony. They're still pulling bodies from the rubble.
The Supreme Chancellor never said anything about groundquakes. Did you tell her about them?
I didn't think it was relevant. The tremors weren't notable. Not until recently, anyway. My niece Lambda is a respected geophysicist. She joined our resistance to prove there's a link between the groundquakes and the Hutt's deep core mining.
She was taking seismic readings on a deserted mesa when a whole company of regulators swarmed in. We lost contact with her.
I sent search parties to bring Lambda back, but they aren't trained or equipped to fight a mercenary force of that size.
I have a feeling your niece discovered something, and the Hutt sent the regulators to stop her from getting away.
That's my fear as well.
Getting reports from our search parties. Dozens of regulators have pushed them back to the landing zone. We lose that, we'll never find Lambda.
The situation's grim, the odds are against us, and the bad guys have the numbers. Good thing you've got me.
Either Chancellor Suresh has a cruel sense of humor, or you're not just a Hutt expert. I hope you make good on that boast. Take my personal shuttle to Friend Mesa. Lane Farrow is our man at the landing zone.
So earthquakes, that's a big deal. You know why? Because what's going to end up happening is that the planet could become so unstable that people can't even live here anymore. This paradise that the Republic wants to save won't even be a paradise anymore. It'll just be a hazard zone, really.
Shalem Avesta sent us. You're in charge here?
Reinforcements. We're saved. Prosk, just get over here.
Speak up, Lane. Not sure the whole Mesa heard you. My name's Prosk, in case Slick here didn't enunciate clearly. Kid's an accountant, barely knows which way to point a blaster. Can't say I'm much better. Used to be a mining foreman. We've set up barricades, but they're not doing much against the regulators. What's the plan, boss?
What are we up against here? Have you seen the regulator forces?
There's a lot of them. They're mean and well-armed. We didn't introduce ourselves. Scouts report regulators headed this way. Big group.
Everyone's manning a barricade. Find one and dig in.
This is kind of the moment where my character gets to show them what he's all about. You gotta remember, he's been on his ship, and he's been gambling money and making lots of money on the side as well. So there hasn't been a lot of combat for him. He now is going into this thinking like, oh, I can finally show him, show him what I'm about, which is really nice for him because he hasn't fought in so long. He's a little rusty, which describes my expertise with this as well. I haven't fought on my smuggler in so long. It's a little rusty, and there's some new tricks up his sleeve too that I haven't learned quite yet, but also stuff that are fundamental to who he is as a smuggler that I basically have forgotten how to use as a player. So I'm gonna really have to relearn as we go here, and you'll see that evolution of my combat in a short amount of time.
I didn't know anyone could shoot that fast. The regulators never had a chance.
I'll drink to that, Slick. Those mercs will think twice about hitting us again. We owe you one.
Saving people's sort of my second job. Actually, it's more of a hobby. Doesn't pay as well as you'd think.
If it did, I bet you could retire. Shalem sent you to find Lambda, right? Bring back his whatever niece in her research. We haven't had much luck there.
Her campsite was ransacked. The regulators must have already captured her and confiscated all the research data. Shalem's right. She found something important.
She might have escaped on foot before the mercenaries hit her camp.
Maybe. But then why hasn't she contacted us for help?
Scanners indicate no one except you has landed on or left the mesa since the regulators came. That means she's still here. Probably at one of their camps.
Great. There's half a dozen camps and no way to pinpoint which one she's at. Have to keep hitting them until she turns up.
The way this usually works, she'll be in the last place I look. But you never know. Might luck out on the first try.
How do you stay so cheerful about everything?
A few of our search parties never made it back. You find any other prisoners, send them here.
Someone here might know how to slice the regulators' comm frequency and find out what they're doing. Ask around, Prosk.
Slick takes charge with his big brain. On it, boss.
We'll hold this landing zone as long as it takes. Good luck.
It's time to find this girl and find out whatever's going on with all of these groundquakes on this planet.